Emotional, damn it.
Man, I got to get out of here, man. I have got to get out of here real soon because I'm already tired. This whole thing with Amber Heard and Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder mentioned that he would be fine to once again work with Miss Heard. Miss Heard, if you're nasty. Let's see what he says here. This came in from Vulture. Let me see if I can go full mass here. Okay, the screen's kind of messing up a little bit. See if I can fix that. What we got? What we got? There we go. Boom. Zack Snyder says he'd work with Amber Heard in a second. Now, in my opinion, because he's got a new movie is about to come out, on Netflix, it might just be him showing love, because he was the one who introduced Amber Heard with in the Justice League movie. He introduced Murrah. So he might be protective of his Snyderverse. And we're going to get into that a little bit later, too. But Zack Snyder, this is coming in from the Vulture, says he'd work with Amber Heard in a second. Says Zack Snyder has left the DC universe far behind, but he's still pretty tight with its actors. Speaking to the Hollywood Reporter is what it originally comes from. Snyder said he's still in touch with lots of comic book actors across many controversies. Snyder said he's still talking to Ezra Miller, even during their recent controversies and legal troubles. They did a great job in the Flash movie, he said. He's also working with Ray Fisher, and I'm happy about that. I'm glad to see that he's still cutting for Ray Fisher, who Snyder cast as Cyborg in his cut of Justice League. Fisher called out Joss Whedon for the director's treatment of him and his Justice League co-star, which emboldened other actors like Angel's Charisma Carpenter to come forward with their experiences. He's weathered the storm in a way not many people could or get to do. Fisher has a part in Snyder's sci-fi epic for Netflix Rebel Moon, and I'm looking forward to that. I am looking forward to that because I found it very weird that Fisher got treated the way he was treated, being one of the first people to say something about Joss Whedon, and everybody else got praised for it. But WB pretty much did Fisher wrong. But there was so much grace and patience for Miller, who was just doing thing after thing after thing. But it just made no sense to me, and I'll never get over how bad. So I'm glad that Zack Snyder is still tight with the people, especially the people who need it. I mean, because I don't know if Fisher's career will ever bounce back after all that. Hell, maybe it'll be Kang. I don't know. Let's see. Let me move on real quick. Let me continue on. Let's see. Continuing on with the story. One DCU figure Snyder didn't work with, but would very much like to, is Amber Heard. Snyder told, I thought she was in the Justice League. Oh, that's right. So he didn't. Yeah, that's right. He didn't get to work with her. Snyder told the Hollywood Reporter that he doesn't care for what's happened to her in her career after the dueling defamation lawsuit between her and ex-husband Johnny Depp. I just don't get it, Snyder said. If other people don't like her, I don't know what to say. I would work with her in a second. Heard will be in the last so-called Snyderverse film, the DC's Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. We'll see how much screen time she's going to get on that. Though for how long is still a question. That came in from the Vulture. I mean, and it's been weird what's been going on lately, because right after that, I thought that was the only part I was going to talk about. Was Zack Snyder saying that he'd be willing to work again with Amber Heard, and then immediately after that, I saw another report that came in hinting that, remember this situation right here? This right next to me. This whole thing when he got on with the RK Outpost, them Geeks and Flamers dudes, all those people. Tyrone Magnus's ass was on there as well. He was all happy. 10 million. acting off like goofy and shit, and everybody was all up in arms, going crazy. I mean, some of these people, only like one dude here in this whole group lineup, but everybody else, man, y'all just ridiculous. And then Zack he put them down right there to their face. Told them off right there to his face. Oh man, all the anti-geeks and gamer people were laughing their asses off about that whole situation. And that look on their face when he said it, I forgot what he said, but he pretty much told them off. I'm not down with all that toxicity and stuff. And when he was going on, because they couldn't cut him off, it's Zack Snyder, but they just sat. Look at him sitting there, looking like all, what are you talking about us like that? We like you, and they couldn't do nothing about it. He told them off, which was funny. I thought it was very funny, which was weird. Why recently this popped up? Something that says from the comicbookreaders.com. Let me see if I can pull it up here real fast because I got to get out of here real soon. From comicbookreaders.com. Where is it? There it is. Zack Snyder responds to claims of toxic fans going too far with the Snyder Cut campaign. From Comic Book Readers. Let me scroll down. In an exclusive piece in the Hollywood Reporter, I guess it was the same report, Snyder discussed the DC fan rebellion against Warner Brothers when they pushed his version of the 2017 Justice League to be released publicly. Though the intimidation was at times intense against the studio's executives in charge of the DC Universe films, Snyder feels that the fans were also very generous and charitable. I'll send a little jump right there. Charitable support in the wake of his suicide of Snyder's daughters, Autumn, which they were a lot of. He got a lot of support on that. I remember that. I'm not going to comment on the details of whether they are good or bad, which is interesting because remember when he was chilling with the leaders of all those, the so-called leaders of them, with the geeks and gamers dudes, he told them to their face. It was bad, pretty much. That's exactly how. And that look on their face. I don't care if you agree or not. Look how they were looking when he was talking. Why are you making fun of us, Zach? Well, we love you so much. So I'm not going to discuss whether or not they're good or bad. This is interesting. So it seems like he's now extending that olive branch, or maybe he figured that he made the wrong decision. I want back in the toxic fan and whatever you want to call them toxic. If maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I don't care. Maybe I need that fan base to boost Rebel Moon. I don't know. Maybe that's what's going on. But no, I swear to God, no, you better not jump up there. I got my damn cat about to jump up and mess everything up. But it's interesting. First he goes, I would work with Amber Heard. And this is the interesting part to me. The same people with the release the Snyderverse, these same groups, majority of them were the ones who were so against Amber Heard for the sake of Johnny Depp and for the support of Johnny Depp. Okay. We love, and all of a sudden we support the release of the Snyder Cut. Okay. He calls them out, says, I'm not down with all that toxic stuff. All right. Well, I guess they didn't really talk bad about him. They were a little bit disappointed in my opinion, but they didn't really go too far as talking bad about him as much. Not like the extent of like an Amber Heard. So now that he's extending his olive branch, they're not that bad. I'm not going to say they're good or bad and whatnot. So is he trying to open the door? I don't watch any of their stuff. I don't watch RK Outpost. I don't watch Geeks and Gamers. So you're going to have to tell me what they're saying about this. Is that an olive branch? Are they cool with Zack again? Or were they never off the Zack Snyder train? How do they feel about Amber Heard now? Because if enough people that these types of fan base, if enough people that they support, people like Zack Snyder, Gina Carano, I don't care, pick a name, these types of people, will blindly support no matter what. let's say Gina Carano was to say that she likes Amber Heard or wants to work, then what? Now what are we going to have? Is there going to be a clash of the fans? Where's your loyalties lie? Honestly, I don't feel like there's that much. It only takes a little butt kissing for that whole group to change their mind. Try that on the other side. No, they'll be like, nope, you were canceled. Go away. But I want to watch this very carefully. Will Amber Heard find some kind of redemption, or will the love of Johnny Depp and everything that went down in that trial be so deep? Would they turn on Zack? Be like, no, hold on, Zack. No, you fucking up now. Amber Heard? No. I am curious. I have yet to see much talk about it. So if you guys know anything about it, let me know, because I haven't seen. I'm curious on whether or not they're being tight-lipped about it. They don't want any clash between the fandom. All that infighting, Geeks and Gamers versus Mecha Harp Random 42, all that nonsense again. I don't know if they wanted to start that kind of drama again. But it'd be interesting. What could redeem Amber Heard? Could Zack Snyder redeem him? I don't know. Or is the love of Johnny Depp too strong? We're like, fuck Zack Snyder now, because Johnny Depp forever. I don't know. I'm curious. It's a very interesting situation now. And I'm curious to why all of a sudden, after everything that went down with that live stream, and he said what he said about the toxicity and all that stuff, saying that he's not down with that stuff. Snyder was under pressure by Warner Brothers to deliver a commercially friendly Justice League movie following the polarizing backlash against 2016's Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. His initial cut of Justice League ran 2 hours and 18 minutes, which was criticized by the studio. Unwatchable and joyless. Moving on. Zack Snyder addresses rumors of bots aiding the campaign. As the release of Snyder Cut campaign grew over the next 3 years, a petition for the director's version of Justice League amassed more than 180,000 signatures and dominated social media. By 2020, Warner Brothers gave in by announcing the plans to release Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max, and they did not get any love for it. They were like, thanks, motherfucker, now give me more. Thanks for the cut that I've been bitching about for 3 years. Give me more. Now give me the cut of Suicide Squad. Give me the Suicide. I mean, they didn't appreciate it. They watched it. They barely appreciated it. The appreciation of it was not as intense as the campaign to get it. The second they got it, it's like, thanks, motherfuckers. You should have did it 10 years ago or 3 years ago or something like. I mean, it was wild. It was wild. And Warner Brothers thinking that they were going to spend all that $50 million on something that was just for streaming was so stupid, so dumb. With the, I think that was when it was still owned by AT&T. That was the dumbest thing ever. I liked it though. I was glad, but it was they wasted that. They lost that money. That should have been a release in theaters. But hey, but it was too fucking long. It was like what, 4 hours long? Nah, that'd have been dumb too. I don't know. But it went unappreciated. So. I mean, let me know. So I'm confused. Like I said, I don't know whether or not him embracing Amber Heard is going to be a good thing for Heard. Is it going to be a good thing for Zack? Is it going to be a good thing? Is it going to be a bad thing for both of them? I mean, what is it? It doesn't make sense, because that, to me, it feels like that fandom it's a clash of what they say that they want. I mean, we went through that trial lasted for a minute. And when she won in England and lost big in America, it was heavily celebrated. So this olive branch too. Well, no, I'm not going to say they're good. I'm not going to say they're bad. And maybe I like them again. Maybe we've always been my boys. Maybe he was always with them, and he's really ride or die with the release the Snyder Cut. Whatever you want to call them, the fandom or whatever you want to call them. But with Amber Heard, where does that leave it now? It's got to be confusing to a lot of them. So I'm confused. I'm interested in finding out what you guys think about that. Look at those faces, man. Look at them. Everybody knows. It was sad. Anyway, man, let me move on. Let me know what you guys think about that. The whole Amber Heard thing. Is Zack gonna help her in her path to redemption? I doubt it, but we'll see.